What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. It's time for a battle of strong style as the Ring of Honor TV champion Minoru Suzuki puts the belt on the line against Samoa Joe. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of AEW Dynamite, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a top WWE employee now goes over to AEW, the real reason the 7'3" giant debuted on AEW, Tony Khan's huge announcement revealed, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now, as always, we won't recap the matches, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number one, an excellent match with a great finish. A Punk vs Penta was a fantastic match with a great finish, reminding fans how deep AEW's roster is and that you don't always need a major storyline for a match to attain excellence. They gave it their all as if they were two arch rivals battling it out in their latest match of a white-hot feud. Both stars' efforts demonstrated how committed AEW wrestlers are to winning and that each match matters regardless of whether a title is on the line or wrestlers have beef with one another. The match culminated with a phenomenal finish where Penta attempted a springboard only for Punk to catch him and hit the GTS. Chef's kiss. Number 2, a promising future. While it may seem like a bit premature to say this, we're gonna say it anyways, as Marina Shafir is gonna be great in AEW. Her outstanding bout against Sky Blue served as a reminder that the talented MMA fighter turned wrestler fell through the cracks while working in NXT, but has everything she needs to rise up the ranks in the women's division, hopefully with a clash against Serena Deeb in the near future. Number 3, the Wardlow MJF feud is the most over right now. AEW continues to show how effective the slow burn can be when booking a feud. It's been 4 weeks since Wardlow turned babyface, and yet AEW has somehow managed to keep MJF and his former bodyguard apart while intensifying their feud's heat. This is the most over feud right now in wrestling, and if it continues at this rate, it could be the feud of the year. Number 4, an awesome amalgam. Suzuki vs Joe was literally a smashing success, and an example of how Japanese strong style can be incorporated into North American wrestling. Fans love their brawls, and this was a classic strong style shadow with two effing badasses slapping each other silly for 5 minutes before moving things on to the next stage. Now, constantly having strong style matches could be hit and miss, but this main event masterpiece exemplifies how the best wrestling program blends various types of matches into an awesome amalgam. But that was the good. What about the bad? Is number 1, lights out laziness. Tony Khan has a big problem, as either he's failed to pay his electric bill or he's gonna go crazy by overusing the lights out trope in wrestling, turning it into a cliche. While fans enjoy surprises in their wrestling, the lights out trope, like any other trope, loses its effectiveness when it's used ad nauseum. The lights out bit is okay when it's a signature aspect of a wrestler, such as The Fiend in WWE or the House of Black in AEW, but not when it's used to introduce a new wrestler, especially someone that most of the audience has never even seen or heard of. There are a number of ways that AEW could have had Satnam Singh explode onto the scene, including smashing his way through the ring, coming in from the audience, or just doing a run-in. Tony Khan has a lot going on right now, including his plans for Ring of Honor, and lazy booking like this suggests he may need to bring in some help. But that was a bad. What about the downright ugly? Is this the Great Khali 2.0? Satnam Singh's debut was more than bad, it was more than cringy, it was downright ugly. Now, while we'll normally avoid labeling any wrestler's debut as downright ugly, although there have been some big disasters in the past, Singh's debut gave us flashbacks to the Great Khali, arguably one of the worst big men in wrestling history. Now, I'm Sikh, and it's great to see a Sikh wrestler get major publicity like this, but we hope that this is not Great Khali 2.0. Having Singh use the Khali Vice was a terrible move on AEW's part, as it made Singh look like a poor man's Khali, if that's even possible. Now, the only saving grace to Singh's debut is that he's being paired with Sanjay Dutt. Okay, let's give him the benefit of the doubt, he could be a better wrestler than Khali. But Dutt should be a great mouthpiece for the big man, much like MVP did for Bobby Lashley, and hopefully will do for Omos. But what you guys think of Dynamite last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Now, first story looks at a longtime WWE employee joining AEW. Atop in the news today is what looks like to be a major hiring coup by AEW that doesn't involve a wrestler. PW Insider is reporting that AEW has signed former WWE producer Pat Buck following Buck's WWE exit. Wrestling News' Paul Davis provided a summary of the story, noting, Along with Michael Hayes, Buck helped to produce the WrestleMania main event between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Buck also produced the SmackDown Women's Championship match between Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. Buck reportedly cited wanting to have more time for his family as one of the reasons why he left WWE, and the schedule will not allow that. Davis added that Buck had worked in the WWE's talent relations department and had acted as a scout. He also is the co-owner of a wrestling school whose past trainees include MJF, Hook, and Chris Statlander. Now, there's no denying that AEW does a fantastic job with many aspects of its product, but adding someone with Buck's background seems like another way to improve AEW's product, and Buck may have another connection in the industry that could help All Elite Wrestling in the ring and behind the scenes. For example, WWE personnel looking to break into AEW might contact Buck, naturally when their non-compete clause concludes, as fans know that no promotion ever tampers with other promotions' talent while they're under contract as they look for a job in AEW. Next up, the real reason for the 7'3" Giant's debut. Now, there's a big addition to All Elite Wrestling, and when we say big, we're talking about the 7'3" Satnam Singh. As we'll see, there's also a big reason behind his debut. The former professional basketball star debuted on the 13th April edition of AEW Dynamite, attacking newly crowned Ring of Honor television champion Samoa Joe and aligning himself with Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt. Singh made a dynamic debut, and it looks like he's going to be in a major program with Samoa Joe, which shows just how much AEW thinks of him. Satnam Singh Bhamana is a type of physical specimen that any sports organization will want to take a look at him. According to a story from the New York Times, Singh was already 5'9" when he was 10 years old, and basketball seemed like a natural for the native of India. After playing in high school, he was eventually drafted by the NBA team, the Dallas Mavericks, playing for the team's affiliate. He later played for other basketball organizations and was given a tryout at the WWE's Performance Center in 2017. The AEW signed Singh last September, and it's obvious that Singh's towering size is just one reason for the promotion bringing him in. Indeed, it may be a secondary reason. Here's an excerpt of what Khan had to say when he signed Singh last September. In early August, AEW began broadcasting weekly episodes of AEW Dynamite and AEW Rampage on Eurosport India, joining more than 120 countries watching AEW worldwide on broadcast partners and via AEW+. Singh's debut serves as a reminder of how wrestling promoters continue to rely upon international markets for growing their audience and income. Many pundits have observed how Singh's signing mirrors the WWE signing of Indian superstar Jinder Mahal, who was given a WWE Championship run to capitalize on its growth in India. Wrestling Inc.'s Sai Mohan noted, AEW programming airs on Discovery-owned channel Eurosport India, a deal AEW President Tony Khan reportedly made based on the impending Warner Media Discovery merger. Warner Media, which airs AEW programming, will soon merge with Discovery, a merger that could affect wrestling programming positively or negatively. By putting AEW programming on Discovery, Khan appears to be strengthening AEW's value to the merged company, and if Singh improves the viewer numbers in India, so much the better. And what do you think of Singh's signing? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Tony Khan's big announcement revealed. AEW President Tony Khan is scheduled to make a huge announcement on next week's edition of Dynamite, but what exactly is it? Will it be a new signing, an announcement about Ring of Honor, a new championship, or something else? While the case can be made that Khan likes to hotshot Dynamite with big reveals, like seriously the guy's becoming the next Dixie Carter with these reveals, the AEW president has a good track record when it comes to making big announcements, as they rarely involve something disappointing. During a recent Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer mused on what the big deal could be. On the show, they announced that Tony Khan's going to have another major announcement on Wednesday, so we're going to have a week of speculation of what this could be. They didn't say a new signing, they said a major announcement, so maybe this is the streaming deal that's been talked about. Maybe it's something to do with Ring of Honor, as far as some sort of broadcast deal for them. We'll have to wait and see. He's signing guys for Ring of Honor, so he's got to be pretty confident he's going to be doing something with them. I guess that could very well be what it is. Some fans and wrestling analysts believe Khan plans on using Ring of Honor as another venue for AEW's ever-growing roster. This could include more recent Ring of Honor stars as well as veterans such as Samoa Joe, who rose to fame in Ring of Honor. While Khan is clearly making major moves for Ring of Honor, there's also been talk of AEW introducing a Trios Championship, and as fans know, there seem to be no end to AEW bringing in new stars. And finally, Cesaro's next move. And last but not least, former WWE superstar Cesaro's decision to leave the WWE doesn't mean his wrestling career is over, as the Swiss Superman apparently is prepping to work under a new name. WrestleTalk is reporting that Cesaro has changed his Instagram name from WWE Cesaro to Claudio CSRO. They also reminded readers that in March, the former WWE star filed to trademark the name CSRO for multiple uses, including merchandise, coffee, and pro wrestling. What do you guys think's next for the Swiss Superman? Will we see him in AEW? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.